Mind your own beeswax. Hey, counting up. Lean back.
My name is Grace, and welcome back to another episode of Mind Your Own Beeswax, the podcast where I give you all my hot tips and my hot takes and teach you how to live a rich life. And today we are talking about health is wealth. My favorite saying, I reckon I say this to people I know once a week. I live by it. Health is wealth. I have a reminder on my phone actually that pops up every couple of days and it says health is wealth to remind me that without my health, I have got nothing. And let me tell you, the last week, wowee, I have been reminded health is wealth about a million times because trigger warning if you don't like talking about sickness, but not only did I break my toe last week, I got gastro. And if you've ever had gastro, you know, it ain't a fun time. And just to give you a quick visual, imagine you're about to throw up and you're trying to hobble to the bathroom, you're trying to make it in time, but you can't run because you got a broken toe. So you're hobbling, hobbling, hobbling. Will I make it? Will I not? It was a rough time. It was a really rough time. I do not wish a broken toe and gastro on anybody. But as always, I can't help but reflect on the situation and realize that having a broken toe and gastro has made me feel incredibly grateful for my health. And it has truly made me realize that without health, I have got nothing. And if you've ever been sick or injured and you're just laying there and you're having one of those moments where you're like, I feel like death, and you cannot ever imagine feeling good ever again. And that was me. I was laying there and I thought to myself, when I feel better, I am never, ever, ever going to take it for granted ever again. I'm going to be so grateful for how healthy I feel. And I feel like every year I see that meme and it's like, you don't know how good it is to breathe until you have a blocked nose. And then when you have a blocked nose, you're so grateful to be able to breathe clearly again when it's over. I thought about that. I was like, that was me. I just could not wait to feel good again. And I would be so grateful once I felt healthy again. How crazy is it that we don't actually feel genuinely grateful until we have those moments where that thing is taken away from us? And that was me. I thought that I was grateful for my health, and I feel like I think about my health and I'm like, I'm grateful to be healthy. But when I had those moments and I just like couldn't even get up, I had to like lay horizontally in a dark room. That's the moment when I was like, fuck, feeling healthy is such a privilege and I will never take it for granted again. Likewise with my toe, I never realized how grateful I was to be able to walk around, to just wear any pair of shoes. I was like, wow, what a privilege to just be able to walk around, chuck on any pair of shoes, go and do whatever I want. I can't do that anymore. It was crazy. And that was my biggest takeaway is over the last week and a half, I thought I am not truly grateful for something in my life until it has been taken away. And I've heard of this concept before when it comes to gratitude, right? Is that some people that struggle with gratitude, they say you can imagine that thing you're trying to be grateful for, imagine it being taken away from you. And I personally, like, I never liked that concept because I feel like I really don't like negative things and I don't want to think about not having that thing in my life. But for the first time, I was like, oh, actually, I think this works. And so when I was laying there sick, I really allowed myself to kind of just like imagine and sort of like stew on this concept. And I was like, well, imagine if I didn't have a car. I wouldn't be able to get anywhere. I wouldn't be able to go places. I would have to walk. I'd have to catch public transport. How grateful am I to have that car that I can just get in my car right now and I can go anywhere I want? I imagined if I didn't have a home, where would I lay? Where would I be sitting? Where would I be recovering from this sickness? I imagined if I didn't have a bed, where would I lay? Where would I sleep? I imagined if I didn't have food or medicine to help me feel better. The more things I thought about not having, the more I was like, wow, holy shit, even though I feel so unwell right now, I have so much to be grateful for. And that truly was the first time that I've used this concept of imagining your life without to feel gratitude. And yeah, it can be scary, but I think it's a really key way to tap into gratitude. And if you're someone that perhaps you don't feel like gratitude is something that you find easy to practice. Imagine something in your life not being there. Think about a place, think about an object, think about something that you own, think about food, think about a person. Imagine your life without that thing. Awful. It would be awful. How grateful are you to have that in your life? So, so grateful. Another thing that being this unwell really made me think about is that when we don't have our health, there's no way that we're going to achieve our goals, right? If you're not feeling good, you cannot show up, you cannot work hard, you really just cannot achieve those dreams that you want to achieve. I feel like that's obvious, right? If you're not healthy, you're not going to show up. But I also had the thought that if you have achieved your goals, right? If you're on your dream holiday, or if you're in your dream job, or you're in your dream home, if you don't have your health, you're really not going to be able to appreciate that, right? And I think I thought about this because while I was sick, Coachella was on. And so every time I opened TikTok or Instagram, I would see videos of Coachella, which I would love to be there. Justin Bieber, or Biebercella, as people are calling it this year. God, I wish I could teleport to America right now and be at Coachella. But here we are, I'm at home. But I was like, imagine if I was at Coachella and I had broken my toe and I had gastro. Like, I would not be able to go out. Like, imagine being stuck on the campsite there. Number one, being sick at a campsite, awful. Number two, not being able to go to that festival that I would have traveled to America for, spent all that money. And going to Coachella in itself is huge. And I'm sure a lot of people that are there, that's been their goal, that's been their dream. And imagine if you get to that moment and your health is not good and you're sick as a dog and you can't enjoy it. Crazy, right? You cannot enjoy your goals if you don't have your health. And for me, this sort of reminded me 2 years ago, I was in Vegas and we were at Caesar's Palace, like the place to be in Las Vegas, and I had COVID. And I, again, was just like sick as a dog. And I remember just going and laying by the pool because I like wanted to lay in the sun and I had a lemonade. And I think I just laid there for 6 hours and I like could not get up. I was so sick. But because I did not have my health when I was in Vegas, I could not be a party girl living my best life, getting day drunk, winning big on blackjack, getting married by Elvis. I couldn't do all those things because I was just sick and dead and had no energy, couldn't do anything, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't have any fun. So without your health, you have got nothing. Another great concept that came to my attention last week, which shout out to my mum. She said this to me because I was complaining about my toe, and she goes, isn't it interesting how we complain about one small injury, one small ailment that we have with our body, but we're not acknowledging the millions of other things that our body is literally doing for us right now? And I thought about it and I was like, oh my God, she's right. And I really just like kept thinking about this over and over and over. I was like, the human body is incredible. Like right now, our bodies are literally doing millions, if not billions of things, right? Our cells are rebuilding, our brain is sending signals to all of our muscles and organs to do things. Our heart is beating, our lungs are, I don't know what our lungs are doing, but they're bringing oxygen in and out. We have all these organs, like we have a liver, we have a spleen. I don't even know what a spleen does, but I know I've got one and I know I need one. The human body is doing so many things right now. And I tell you what, I've never, ever, ever practiced gratitude for any of those things. And I don't think I've even acknowledged it from a lens of gratitude, how wonderful my body is. And I think I'm guilty, like all the time. I'm like, oh, my shoulder's sore. I got a sore neck. I say that shit daily, but I don't ever say, wow, I feel good. I'm so grateful to feel good. And especially on days when I am feeling good, that now I've felt like shit, I'm going to be able to acknowledge. I need to be saying things like, yes, I feel good. I'm so thankful for my body. I feel amazing. I need to change the way I speak. Yes, I've got a broken toe. Yes, I have been sick. But my body is doing so many amazing things for me. Likewise, your body is doing so many amazing things for you. Let's acknowledge that. Let's practice gratitude and just feel how amazing our bodies are. And do we need to complain? Do I need to be telling every man and his dog, oh, I've got a broken toe, it hurts? No, I don't. I need to rephrase what I'm saying and reframe what I'm thinking and be grateful for my body and all the amazing things that it does for me. Because without my body, I wouldn't be able to work towards my goal of this podcast. And I think to myself, I'm so grateful to past Grace, who pre recorded a couple of episodes in advance that I could publish while I was sick. But without my health, I cannot show up and deliver this message. So let this episode be a reminder that health is wealth. You need to not only take care of your body, practice gratitude for all the incredible things that it does, and even set yourself some health goals. And I have three great things that I think everybody should be doing every single day. And if you set these three things as your daily health goals, you are going to feel and look absolutely amazing. So, my number one thing is that you should move your body every single day. And I think it really only has to be a minimum of 10 minutes. And it's just some kind of movement. Get up and walk around the block. Walk around the shops if you're at the shops. If you are at work, can you just go for a quick 10-minute walk up and down the street on your lunch break? Can you just go out into your backyard and do a few laps of the yard in the sunshine? I love this concept of emotion is energy in motion. And so I'm a big believer that if you're feeling any type of emotion in your body, particularly a negative emotion, say stress, unhappiness, frustration, anger, if you're feeling any of that in your body, you can move your body, watch that emotion really just simmer down a few levels because when you're moving your body, you're putting that emotion to an energy in motion and it will help it move about. And let me tell you, you will feel so much better. This is why there's so much research around how regular exercise has such a profoundly positive impact on mental health. Exercise is so good for depression, anxiety, and they even say things like ADHD. It is also one of the best relievers for stress. Exercise can help improve memory, it helps you sleep better, and it will just overall boost your mood and boost the vibes. Tell me that a 10-minute walk in the sunshine does not make you feel like a new man or woman. I cannot tell you how good it feels to just go for a little walkies, a little mental health walk, a hot girl walk, whatever you want to call it. Get out and go for a little trot, and I promise you, your life will be a whole lot better if you do that every single day. The next hot tip is drinking water, which I think we all know what to do. But I want to share this because when I was at the doctor over the weekend, on the TV screen, they had a benefits of drinking water sign. And I shit you not, they had every single disease written on that board. They said water can help with like heart disease, cancer. They literally had hangovers on there. Any kind of disease, it literally listed that it will help with the symptoms. And I was like, that is insane. Water can literally help every single health condition. Now, I'm not saying water will cure cancer or cure your heart disease. It could cure your hangover. But this was a sign in a doctor, and it said that water can literally help any condition. And I always remember hearing in school that our bodies are made up, I think, of 60% water. So it makes sense that we need a whole hell of a lot of water. So, this is your reminder, drink some water, make sure you are getting enough water. And finally, my favorite health hack that I think everyone should be doing is you need a really solid stack of vitamins. I love a probiotic, a prebiotic. I take a turmeric tablet. I'm taking some funky shit at the moment from my Chinese medicine doctor. Whatever you feel like you need, grab some vitamins because it's a great hack that if you start your day, take those vitamins, no matter what happens, if you fall off track with your diet or you eat a bit of takeaway or maybe you have a few drinks, at least you've started the day with those vitamins. And that is an easy win that you have got those nutrients into your body. And no matter what happens for the rest of the day, you're ticking that off straight away. So I highly recommend having a solid stack of vitamins and just ticking that off every single day because that will help your body to be nourished and to get those nutrients no matter what you eat throughout the rest of the day. And finally, I want to leave you with this beautiful quote. I found it on Pinterest. I don't know if it's by anybody in particular, but the quote says, your body will last longer than any job, any handbag, any car, or any expensive house invest in your health. And when I read this, I was like, wow, it's true. Your body is the only home that you have for your entire life. Things will come and go, people will come and go, you will travel to different places, but you will always be that soul in your body. And that's the one thing that you need to invest in and take care of above all else, because without your health, nothing in your life is going to be there. No matter your family, your friends, your job, your home, your kids, you can't be that person for them if you don't have your health. So, this is your sign. Health is wealth. Look after yourself. And hopefully, this episode has found you at a time that you need it the most. Maybe this is your little wake up call to realize that you need to not only be grateful for your health, but you've got to look after yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today. Apologies if you did not want to hear about my gastro, but maybe I should have put a trigger warning at the start. But I'm an open book, you know? If you know, you know. Bloody gastro. I don't wish it upon anyone, but I live to tell the tale. And this is what I love about doing mindset work, is that I can go through a really shitty week and be feeling at rock bottom, but with the perspective and the lessons that I've learnt throughout these years, throughout my personal development journey, throughout the books that I've read, when times get tough, I can flick my perspective and use that as an opportunity to learn. And I'm so thankful to myself for doing that work, that when life does get tough and I feel like shit, I can use that as an opportunity to learn and to practice gratitude. And you know what? On another note, I'm also really excited to be able to share this with you. When I was planning the podcast, I had 52 episodes written out and planned, and I thought to myself, I cannot wait to be actually podcasting and to be able to bring episodes that are not just like thought out and planned. I really want to be able to just live in real time and share these inspired messages that I'm learning on the go. And that's what this episode is. That's the shit that's been going on in my life for the last week and a half. This is how I'm dealing with it. This is the real time life updates. So I hope this helps you, and I hope if you're not feeling great at the moment, this can give you the perspective that you need. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Oh, actually, finally, I can share 250 downloads on the podcast. We are 25% of the way to 1,000 downloads, so I'm really, really excited. 250, I cannot believe it. So if you are one of those 250, which if you've made it this far, you definitely are, thank you so much. I'm really, really grateful for your support, and thank you for listening to the pod. As always, I hope this episode finds you at a time you need it the most. I will chat to you next time. Love you, bye.
Mind your own beeswax.